All right. Well, hello. My name is Megan, and this is my YouTube channel, so welcome. This is going to be my first YouTube video that I'm putting up, so I figured for this one, what we're going to do is a little getting ready with me, an introduction if you don't already know who I am, if you're watching this, and kind of tell you my vision for my channel and videos, ideas for videos to come, and just my, I guess just my overall vision really. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So as we go along with this, I'm just going to, not going to go over like really techniques or anything. I just will tell you what I'm going to use and talk to you guys about what my plans are for this channel and a little bit about me as we get ready for the day here. Just to start off too, I have a really makeshift setup right now going on. I have a mirror off over here that I'm gonna try to not, I have to look this way is what I'm gonna try to say here. I have to look over here to do my makeup. So hopefully soon I'm gonna have like a desk and all of that jazz to kind of, you know, have a better setup to make the viewing experience a little bit better, so you're not watching me off to the side as I do my makeup or whatever else I'm doing. My whole channel isn't going to be just makeup, so but we'll get into that. So first off, I'm going to use to prep my face, I'm going to use the Poreless, there we go, the Poreless, there it is, the Poreless e.l.f. Putty Primer. e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I like to focus this in my T-zone where I have the biggest pores. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm just going to apply that. Warm it up in the pan. Okay, so my name is Megan Thrasher, for those of you who do not know. And yeah, I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for a while now. I mean, a couple of years, and been back and forth between ideas, what I want to do, or just like a lot of it was just getting started. I was just like, how do I start? What do I do? Where do I begin? What do I need? And then what do I even want to put up on my channel? Like, what do I want the focus to be? So there have been so many things, ideas that have gone through my mind as far as all of that goes. And ultimately my vision is to do a lifestyle channel, a more lifestyle, a little bit of makeup and beauty, maybe a little bit of home decorating, a little bit of home organization, because my house could use a little bit of that. Yeah, things like that I think is what I want to do. I love makeup. Next I'm gonna go in with, I love this stuff, the CoverGirl, this here, yeah, CoverGirl, the Clean Fresh Skin Milk foundation. It's more of like it's a foundation. It's very light coverage. It's very liquidy too. Sometimes it comes out the top and I haven't even opened it yet, but I'm going to apply it to a sponge, or I'm going to apply it with a sponge. So I'm just going to add a little bit there. So I've always been into makeup, and I thought about just doing a makeup channel, but I have so many different interests, so many different things I like to do, and I feel like the beauty community is a little oversaturated, which has been another reason why I don't particularly, or why I didn't really start my YouTube, because I'm like, oh, but there's so many YouTubers already, so many beauty YouTubers. So I was just like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, who's gonna watch me? So we'll see. But you know what kind of like changed my thought on all of that was I watch multiple YouTubers. Like, I am subscribed to multiple people. I don't watch just one person. So it got me to thinking, I'm like, just because these people are already watching other people. It doesn't mean that they might not find my channel interesting to watch and something that they want to subscribe to and, you know, look at the daily, watch not daily videos, but like, you know, watch my YouTube. I was like, I watch different YouTubers, so what's it matter that there's already people out there who do it and YouTubers that do it. So, but then I was like, I don't know if I just want to focus solely on beauty. I do really enjoy makeup, but at the same token, I was like, there's other things I like too. I already did my brows, so I'm going to be really careful around them. Actually, I just remembered I already did those. Did them off camera just because it's a little easier for me to do. Maybe one day I'll do like my brow tutorial. I mean, again, there's tons of them out there, but I can show you guys how I do mine one day. Maybe that's a video. So anywho, so I got the idea. What I've been really enjoying watching are these lifestyle YouTubes, these lifestyle blogs or vlogs, where one of my favorite YouTubers actually is Laura Lee. And she was for a long time strictly makeup, like she just did makeup. But she recently, I would say like in the past year, has really started to expand. And she's even said it that her YouTube now is more lifestyle. So she'll still post her beauty stuff, but she also does home decoration and organization and different types of hauls from like Target or that kind of stuff, right? Target, maybe Amazon haul. And I personally find that stuff really interesting and fun to watch because I feel like it can be useful information too, like maybe things off of Amazon that I find that could be useful to you guys in your everyday life, or organizational skills that I am adopting that is helping me, you know, stay organized. And I don't know, I just figure I enjoy that kind of content. I enjoy that kind of stuff, and I want to start implementing more of that kind of those kind of things in my life to begin with. So I figured, why not take you all on the journey with me? So that's where I'm going with all of that. That is kind of my vision for my YouTube: lifestyle, beauty, makeup, organization, decorating, things like that. Also, let me tell you what, I'm using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the matte finish. I wanted to try to find the hydrating camo concealer when I went to Target to buy this, but they didn't have it in my shade. So they had it in my shade in the matte, so it is what it is, but I do like a more dewy complexion. And I'm just going to spot conceal. So the stuff that I used, or the foundation that I used, was more of a sheer coverage, a light coverage foundation. So I'll spot conceal, and then I add a little bit to my outer corner here to create like that lift in my eye. And now we're just gonna blend it out with that beauty blender. I like to take a little bit on the eyelid too there, prep and prime the eyelid. I'm on the struggle bus this morning with blending. So a little bit more about me, guys. What I do for a living is I'm a real estate agent. I'm a new real estate agent. I just started not that long ago, like 6 months ago. So I'm brand new to the industry. So if you need your house sold or you need to buy a house, hit your girl up. I got you. I can handle it. I'm also a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer for, it'll be 6 years this June. So now I kind of get around the nose because I get redness in the nose. So, and I blend it all out. I'll take whatever's left and kind of just go down the center of my face. Yeah, I've been a personal trainer for going on 6 years in June. All right, now we're gonna go in, set the concealer. I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. Translucent powder. And I'm going to be taking, looking for a ZBrush that I need. I'm gonna be taking my Laura Lee Los Angeles I have a lot of her stuff because I genuinely love her and genuinely love her product, like her makeup. So I do enjoy her product. So I have her brush set that I will be using a lot today. So I'm going to use the Laura Lee Los Angeles L12 brush. I use this to set my concealer because it's really a good shape for under the eye there. And then I'll drag it down to smooth out any of those pores there. Give me a little bit more coverage, not really coverage. And I'll also set the eye with it so that it's not as tacky when we go to put eyeshadow down, because I use my concealer for an eye primer. So yeah, I have been a personal trainer, I'm saying this for like the third time, for 6 years going on June. And if you can only imagine, this past year, personal training has been quite a challenge because one, I got knee surgery back in March of last year, so I originally was taking time off for that, but right after I had got that knee surgery is when all the gyms and restaurants started closing down, like literally 4 days after I got my knee surgery. It all shut down. So I lost my job. It was a blessing in disguise in a way, just because with the knee surgery I had, I needed it. I honestly needed like 2 months off of work. In a way, for me, it was a blessing in disguise and worked out. But then, you know, when it came time to like going back to the gym, my gym I used to work at did not open up until September. I decided not to go back to work at that gym because I always wanted to focus on my own thing anyways. So I do online training. I do virtual training. So I have clients that I meet through Zoom. So now I'm just, again, applying in my T-zone here where I have bigger pores. It kind of helps to smooth all that over. I'll take whatever's left and then hit around the nose, my smile lines, and the chin a little bit. I don't really ever dig in for extra product when I do that. So I have some clients that I train virtually and some clients that I train online. Shout out to those peeps. They are the real MVPs. They stuck with me through it all. And they're the best. I love my clients. I love what I do, and I genuinely miss going into a gym and training my clients. I miss that atmosphere, and I miss everything. I miss that. I miss my clients, and I miss really what I did. And I'm really grateful that I'm able to do it to a degree online. So I do that, and then again, the real estate that I just started. So something else I've always wanted to kind of start getting into was real estate. I figured what better time than when I was laid up on the couch for 2 months than to go ahead and take my real estate course online and get my real estate license. So I started doing that. I became a real estate agent officially at the end of June, but started back in like August, September, somewhere around there for real estate. And it's been going pretty good so far. It's very similar to personal training. Got to build up clientele, a lot of marketing and all of that. But I have been enjoying it so far. So I'm now going in with the Butter Bronzer. And I'm using my Laura Lee Los Angeles L13 brush now. So this is like a good contour shade. I'll use this a lot when I want to chisel out my cheekbones a little bit more. If not, I'll use a more fluffier brush. But today I'm just gonna use this. I don't know, I feel like it. At the end of the year of 2020, I was like, you know what? I've really been wanting to start this whole YouTube thing. I really think I know the direction I want to go in now. I've thought about it for a while. I'm just gonna start. And my husband he's always been trying to push me to do it and to start it. So he was super supportive right off the bat. What better time than now, right? Right? There's never a good time to start this kind of stuff. So, and I've been putting it off. I mean, I've been putting it off for years. I originally was like, what if I do a fitness YouTube? What if I then do a makeup YouTube? What if I do a this YouTube and a that YouTube and I just have been constantly back and forth with ideas, and I'm like, you know what, Megan? You just gotta start. So that's another reason why I kind of wanted to go into more of a lifestyle, because it doesn't necessarily put me in a box per se, and I'm not just beauty, and I can do other things besides just makeup. Even though that is one of my big interests, I like to do other things too. So again, like, fitness is a big part of my life, so that could be some videos that you see. You might see some fitness vlogs, you might see, I don't know, you might see, I was a weightlifter. I do Olympic weightlifting. I did do competitions, but with my knee surgery, I've had to put that off to the side, and I'm now just getting back into it. So, like, I don't know, maybe one day when I do another weightlifting competition, or I do CrossFit as well, maybe I do a CrossFit competition, and, you know, I take you along for the ride with that kind of stuff and the training and whatever. So I just didn't want to be put in a box when it came to my YouTube, but also understood, like, you need some sort of niche, right? You need something. You can't just, like, be all over the place with it. Again, I've been watching a lot of lifestyle vlogs, lifestyle YouTubes, and I'm like, this is cool. This is cool. They're able to kind of, like, have a little bit more freedom, but you're still in that niche. So yes, I'm hoping that is something that will work out, or I don't know. I'm hoping that people will like to see my stuff. I don't know. My hair's a hot mess today. So basically, I guess I'll tell you a little bit what I'm doing with the bronzer. I'm just staying on the perimeters of my face. And I did my cheeks here, follow my cheekbone down. I start at basically the tip of my ear, where my ear connects to my head here. And I just pat it down, and then I'll blend it out in circular motions. Did the same thing over here. And then I'll hit up my temples and my forehead, again taking my time to blend. Make sure there are no harsh lines. Make sure you go into your hairline, and then I'll bring it down, kind of connect to the cheekbone here. And then when I think that looks good, I'll dip back in for a little bit more. I like to hit up the jaw, and then down the neck a little bit as well. Make it all below. Cool. And then we're gonna, sometimes I hit the nose. My nose is skinny. I don't really need, like, a contour on my nose. At least I don't think, I never contour my nose. But I do like to kind of make it more bronzy looking, so I will hit the nose up a little bit. And then we're gonna go back in with the sponge that I used for my foundation and concealer, and then I just kind of go around the edges of that bronzer. Again, just to make sure everything's nice and blended and seamless. So we'll do that nice light taps just around the edge, and maybe sometimes I'll take my blender and point it like this, come down the cheek. That line there that we've created, clean that up a little bit. I think in about 10 minutes I'm gonna have to change out my SD card. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. Moving on, we're gonna go into blush. And I'm going to use, for my blush here, I'm gonna use a Morphe. It's like a, can we see it? Is it focusing? I don't know. It's like a blush brush, that's all. And then the Milani in Luminoso. So we're gonna dip into that, just like that. Get some product on the brush there. Always tap off that extra. And then we're gonna go, I like to go more on the high points of my cheek. I do a little bit of the apple of my cheek, but I say also kind of more on the high points. So I'll start right at the apple and take it back. And then whatever is left on the brush, I'll kind of bring it down a little bit, but I don't like to come too far in. I like to stay, I have higher cheekbones, so I like to stay more on the high points of my face with the blush and really highlight and bring the attention more towards that than the center of my face. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So if you notice, most of my products are drugstore. Every now and then I will splurge on some higher end stuff. But most of my products you'll find are drugstore. Maybe one of these days we'll be able to do more high-end products. That's another thing. I'm like, I don't really have that big of a makeup collection to just do a makeup YouTube. You can always think of every excuse in the book to not do something. There we go. And that's always been one of my biggest things. I'll go across the nose too. Is always stopping myself with excuses and thinking like, well, I don't have this or I don't have that, and I don't really have a lot of makeup or whatever it might be. And like, I need to stop. I need to stop making excuses for myself and limiting myself, and actually, did I not bring up my highlighter brush? Guys. Oh no, I didn't bring it up. I'm gonna go get my highlighting brush. Be right back. We're back. And we're back with coffee. Exciting. Anyway, so where was I? Oh, making excuses, limiting yourself. Yeah, that's me. That's what I do. So I don't have a lot of high-end makeup, but that's okay because we can get really nice, beautiful looks with drugstore. And I figured, like most people have more drugstore than high-end products anyways. I don't know, maybe I'm speaking for myself with this, but at least I do. I feel like maybe people can really benefit from more drugstore makeup looks. And again, drugstore I feel like has come such a long way when it comes to their products. So, I don't know, guys. That's kind of like, maybe one day we'll get into that whole high-end ordeal. I do have a couple high-end here and there, and I'm not saying I'm against high-end. I am not. I just can't afford it. But I really do want to try the Rare Beauty foundation. So even though there's been like 1,000 reviews on that already, I think I'm going to invest in some Rare Beauty foundation just because it looks so beautiful and I hear really great things about it. So I really want to try it. All right, we're going with highlighter now, and I'm using this Sugar Mini Highlighter Champagne in the color Champagne. I got this in an Ipsy bag, and I actually really enjoy it. Here's the color. Can you see? Can it focus? Can we focus? There we go. Cool. That's the color. So we're gonna load up our brush. I'm using again the Laura Lee Los Angeles L15 brush. I like how she numbered these because it kind of goes in. The numbers go 12, 13, 14. Did I use 14? I don't even know. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, nope. I didn't use the L14 brush today. I used another blush brush. That's so funny. But anyways, the numbers kind of go in the order that I use the product. So on our brush here, we're going to focus this on the high points of our face. So that's going to be again up kind of like where we laid down that blush, but a little bit higher. And then I come underneath, kind of make like a C shape, come underneath the brow bone and take it on up. That blush that I use too has a lot of, it's pretty, I don't want to say shimmery, it's not shimmery, but it's illuminating. So it already kind of has like that highlight feel to it. So we're just adding more of a punch here. So same thing on this side, high point, take it back, bring it up, drag it up under that brow bone, above, down the temple. Yeah, and then I'll just kind of blend. Just keep blending. And there we go. I really enjoy this highlight. I think it's a more natural glow that I really like. I use it on more natural makeup days, but I also use it on days where I'm going a little bit more glam with my makeup too. So again, using that same blender that I used for foundation and to kind of blend out the bronzer, I'm just gonna kind of help to pat all of that in, blend it all together. Again, making sure that the blush, highlighter, and bronzer all are seamless and working together. Oh my gosh, I forgot to highlight. I do highlight my nose. I don't use a lot. So sometimes I'll do a little tiny dip back in, and then I'll bring it down my nose here. So I'm really excited, guys, for my YouTube. I'm really excited for the content that I have in mind for you guys, and I really hope that you come along on the journey with me. And I don't know, I feel like in this past year, there's been a big part of me that just wants to create, and I feel like the YouTube journey is calling me. So that's where I'm at. And now we're gonna go ahead into the eyes. Don't be mad at me, guys. Don't be mad, but I'm gonna use the Laura Lee Los Angeles Nudie No. 2 palette. I do have her Nudie Patootie the first one. So this is a sister palette that she released. I love it so much. It's beautiful. You can do like a really pretty everyday look with it. You can go full glam with it. The shimmers are so pretty in this palette. I always sit there and I'm like, what shimmer do I want to use? When I tell you I love her products and I love what she comes out with, I mean it. I truly mean it. So we're gonna go ahead and dive right on in. Let's go in with a more fluffier brush here. Blending brush. This is a Morphe. It doesn't have a number on it, but here, I feel like official doing that. But there's the brush, there's the tip of it. So it's kind of a more fluffier brush. And I'm really sitting here thinking about what look I want to do. I always gravitate towards the bum color, which is like this peachy kind of orange shade right there. So, oh look, you can see my chair. That's funny. Cool. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, I have 2 chairs right now. One has my mirror on it. The other one has my camera on it. And then I have my ring light right in the center. It's a fabulous setup. It's absolutely fabulous. One thing also, guys, you might notice is I have hooded eyes. That's another thing. I'm like, I feel like I cannot find YouTubers, a lot of beauty YouTubers with hooded eyes. So if I zoom you in, you will notice, oh wow, I have to get used to kind of like this close up here. I'm just looking in the monitor just to make sure that we stay in focus. But if you notice, my eyelid kind of comes down and covers my lid, I guess. I have that crease, that fold. There we go. That covers my lid. I don't have a lot of territory there to really do much with. And also like the space between my lid, the bottom of my lid and my eyebrows isn't a lot either. So I struggle with trying to find a lot of beauty YouTubers that have eye shapes like mine. And I've had to do a lot of trial and error on how to figure out how to flatter my eye shape and do eyeshadows on my eyes. With that being said, I can help out other women out there that have a similar eye shape to mine and maybe help you learn techniques that work for me, might be able to work for you. So with that being said, we're gonna hop into the bum color. It's that peachy shade. I love that color because it's my favorite color. I love a good pastel-y peachy orange. I just do. Now we're gonna use this as our transition shade. So I have it on my brush here. And what we're gonna do, I guess I'll start with this eye first. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to take it right on the outer corner, but above that fold, okay? So if you can see, I have my fold here. I'm taking it right above that fold, and I'm just gonna start laying down that product. I'm gonna do windshield wiper motions here. Is above my natural crease is where I'm laying this transition shade down. And I'm not worried about staying too precise with this color either. It's our transition shade, so it doesn't need to be perfect. So one thing also about me I think I should talk about is makeup in general, and why I love Laura Lee so much. You will hear me talk about her a lot, I suppose. I was, I guess, a tomboy growing up, if that's what you want to call me. Most of the kids I grew up in my neighborhood were boys, so I grew up a lot around boys, and which is like totally fine, and I loved it because I was always outdoorsy, I just really liked to be outside. I never was one to play with Barbies or anything like that. And I was always more of like that tomboy, like when I'm telling you tomboy, I'm saying like my hair was always up in a ponytail, and I have curly hair. You can't really tell right now, but I have naturally curly hair. My hair was in a ponytail. I brushed out those curls. So not only was it in a ponytail, it was a frizzy ponytail. And I wore those swooshy pants. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but like Nike or Adidas swooshy pants. Yeah, that was me. That's what I wore every day. So I was a tomboy growing up. So makeup was not something I really started dabbling in until I want to say like really kind of getting into like my mid-20s. As I got older, I would wear makeup as far as mascara. Like I did mascara. That's as far as I went with makeup for the longest time. So one day I was bored, and actually I was like wanting to do something with my eyebrows. So I was like, how do girls get like these really nice shaped eyebrows? So I started YouTubing eyebrow tutorials, and I came across Laura Lee. I just like got lost in her videos and just watched her do makeup, and I was so intrigued by it. It made me want to try, just because I was like, wow, that looks like fun, that's really pretty. Let me mute my computer. I just started to kind of dabble with eyeshadows a little bit and try to like use her techniques. Of course, her eyes are shaped a lot different than mine, so I really had to be, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. I had to figure it out myself not for the most part, but take her techniques and kind of change them in a way that's gonna work a little bit for my eye shape. I was just like, this is so fun. Like, it's creative, it's a way to express yourself. I don't ever do it to like make myself look better or to impress people. Like, that's not why I enjoy doing makeup. I just truly enjoy it for the sole reason that it's just fun to me. It's kind of like therapy. So I started getting into it like that, and before you knew it, it was kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, I'll just do like my eyes and my eyebrows. Like, I'm not gonna go into the whole bronzer, not gonna go into the whole blush, foundation, just the eyes. And so it's so funny because the progression was, I went from eyes to now, well, I feel like I need to even out my skin tone now to really like bring my eyes out more and just to kind of balance out the look some. So then I was like, okay, let's do some foundation. And then I was like, oh, well, now the foundation, I feel like I need more depth in my face. I really like how bronzer looks. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm never gonna use the blush. Like, I'm using highlight, I'm using bronzer, I'm not gonna use blush. I started using blush, and now like I do lip products because I also don't have full lips. Like, I have thinner lips. So I was like, those lipsticks aren't gonna look good on me. I'll just slap some gloss on, call it a day. But then it just kind of progressed to there because I'm like, well, I want that kind of whole look. I want to do that whole look. Like, there's some sort of artistry not only to doing eyeshadow but also to doing your face makeup, your base makeup. I was just like, well, that's what we're gonna go ahead and just do it, and here we are. So now we're gonna hop into the shade Low Cut right there on the L16 brush from Laura Lee Los Angeles. Just a little bit of product. This is deeper shade, so you don't necessarily want to get too much product to begin with. With the deeper shades, you want to start light and pack on the color and add color as you go, because it's easier to add more color. It's harder to take it away. So you could be here blending for hours before you might get the look you want if you put too much of a darker shade on. We're gonna take that on the brush here. We're gonna come to the outer edge of the eye. I'm gonna go ahead and pack it where I want it. I'm starting on that outer edge, and I'm just gonna pack it kind of coming down on an angle into the lash line. This eye, it's my left eye. I swear, this is the eye that gives me problems. The left eyebrow always looks better than my right eyebrow, but my right eyeshadow always looks better than my left eyeshadow. Laying down that product in the area that I want it, then we're gonna go in and blend. So that's where I'm gonna go ahead and start gently blending out those edges, blending it into that transition shade. Notice I'm staying a little bit lower with this shadow too. And I'm kind of going more into my crease with it, maybe a little bit more above, but I'm not like going really above with that color. Really soft blending motions here, get those edges. Again, trying to make everything as seamless as possible. I also need to work on the lighting in this room because it's kind of like I can't really see too much of what I'm doing because of glares and whatnot. And once most of that product, most of that shadow is kind of blended in, I'll start kind of taking it more towards the center of my eye too. and just creating that nice gradient effect. Or take your time, don't rush blending, y'all. When I started makeup, I feel like it was not a shock for people, but okay. You see how we have that nicely blended, and sometimes I'll go back in with that brush that I used to lay down my transition shade, no extra product, and just blend a little bit further, blend those two colors together. Make sure it's all seamless. Just because of how much of a tomboy I was, I think a lot of people were like, Megan, makeup, what? I get it, I do. Just because I like to do outdoorsy things or whatever it might be doesn't mean that I can't be interested in makeup either, especially since I find it something that brings out the creative side of me. I enjoy it, and I think that's all that matters, right? Also, guys, I do not do liner. With hooded eyes, I find with liner just takes up all of that space that we have, the very little space that we have. And if I were to put liner on, all you would see is just a blackness here. And I personally don't like that. Some people might like that. I personally don't like that. And then also like the wing liner, it just does it for my hooded eye shape. It doesn't go. It doesn't work for me. I also don't really do a lot of false lashes either. I'm thinking about getting started with those and seeing like maybe what false lashes would look good. Because again, I don't have a lot of real estate there. I don't have a lot of space. And I feel like if I put lashes on, it's going to cover up all the hard work that I did on my lids versus just like some mascara. So, and it just would be like an all lash look versus like the whole eye look together. I don't know. I have to try lashes. I have to maybe find lashes that would work better with my eye shape. And I think that's what it's about, because I do like the look of lashes. So when you're happy with the shape of the eyeshadow, the blending, then we move on to the next part. Again, I kind of want to keep this look a little bit lighter and not too dramatic. So a lot of times, again, I sit here and I look at the shimmers and I'm like, girl, which one do you want to use? I just swatched two shades here. I swatched Sheer, which is the top shade, and then Nudie, which is that bottom shade. I think we're gonna go in with Sheer. I use my fingers for shimmer shades mostly, so we'll pack that on my fingertip, and then I'll start in the center of my eye with it, right at my lash line, because that's where we want most of that shadow to come through. And then I'll move it up to my crease, and then we'll bring it in to the inner corner, and then pat and kind of pulling motions, just like that. We'll do the same thing on the other eye. I'm gonna dip back into that low cut shade, just literally a dip, tap. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of bring back that definition on the outer corner here, and also blend the shimmer shade and low cut in together. Okay, just like this. Because we're going for that nice blended gradient effect, seamless effect. Going back into that blend or that transition shade brush that I use and blending it all in a little bit more. Now we're going to go ahead and work on that lower lash line. We'll take the same brush I used for Bum, that transition shade, get a little bit more on that brush, and then we're going to go ahead and just add that to that lower lash line. And I'm going to bring it down kind of like where my eye socket ends. So we got a little bit of snow here, guys, over the weekend, which is great. I love the snow. I hate the winter, but I love the snow. So if it's going to be cold, it better be snowing. That's just how I feel about it. Really, I mean, we got the most we've gotten in this area in a long time, which is like 5 or so inches. We used to get big snowstorms. We haven't had a big snowstorm here in Maryland in quite some time. So I'm ready for like a blizzard. Don't hate me, people who hate the snow. All right, we're going back into low cut on that same brush I used for the upper lid for low cut, for that kind of deeper shade. And then we're going to go ahead outer corner of the eye, keeping this much closer to that lash line, and I'm bringing it halfway. Yeah, so I'm really hoping for some good snow. I mean, this was good, I guess. It wasn't that much, but it was good. It was pretty. It snowed for legit like 3 days. just like Sunday all day, Monday on and off, and then yesterday just on and off all day. So I enjoyed it. It's peaceful. Peaceful to me to watch the snow fall. The dogs love it. I have 2 dogs, 2 pit bulls. They love the snow. I'm gonna take this brush here, which is just another Morphe brush. It's like, do I want this one? Do I want this one? Yeah, we'll use this one. We'll use it. Okay, cool. We'll use this one. It's a Morphe brush. It's like a very small, kind of rounded tip, very thin. So we're gonna dip into that sheer shade. It's our shimmer shade that we used on our lid for our lid color. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that on the lower lash line from the inner corner to about center. Blend it on in with low cut. Okay, we're back. I had to change out the SD card, so that's cool. We left off with the lower lash line. So yeah, we just basically mimicked what we did on the upper, did it on the lower, and now we're gonna move into highlight. I'm gonna wipe off the shimmer from this brush that we were just using for the shimmer on our lower lash line, because I want to now go in with a highlight. I'm just going to use that sugar highlight that I used earlier for our face, and I'm going to tap into that. We're going to go into the inner corner now with this shade. Brighten up that inner corner, and it gives us that pop in the inner corner to help really open up the eye. Cool. And then I'll tap a little bit for the brow bone, just a little bit over under there to highlight that. Tie the whole look in together. Now we're gonna go into mascara, and my favorite right now is the Lash Paradise by L'Oreal, and here is what it looks like. Will it focus? There it is. L'Oreal Lash Paradise. It's my go-to in black, and I'm just gonna apply the mascara off camera here, so give me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back with mascara, and the upper and bottom, probably about like 2-3 coats on the upper, 1 coat on the bottom lashes. So there's that. Mascara just pulls a look together, right? I just love that. So now we're gonna go ahead into our lippy. For our lipstick today, we're gonna use the ColourPop lipstick. Are we gonna focus? Are we gonna focus? Focus? Yeah. Lippy stick in the shade Parker. So it's like this nice nudie brown color. Love this shade. This is actually my favorite shade I have. And guys, hopefully with my new setup, I won't be off to the side. Again, this was just like a getting ready with me video anyway, so I wasn't like too pressed on really teaching too much. I did teach some. Hopefully when I finally get a new setup and a desk, like an actual space to do this in, I can have a better focus, a better positioning with my mirror and all, so you can actually see what I'm doing and like looking straight on the camera and not off to the side. That was another thing. I was like, oh, I can't get started until like I have a better setup, a better space to work in. But then I was like, you know what? You're gonna make it, you're just gonna do it. You're gonna make it happen, and you're going to just figure out a makeshift way. And that's what I did. That's what I'm doing, guys. I am just making it happen. And because not everybody starts with everything that they need. Not everybody has like a full-blown studio. Not everybody has all the lightings, the most fanciest camera. That's not where most people start anyways. So no excuses, guys. That was my mantra for 2021. No excuses. Don't let things hold you back. I think it's easy to look at what people have. You know, people who are already, I'll just use YouTube again as an example. People who are already YouTubers and like big YouTubers and have like the full setup, the full thing going for them. But they didn't start there. So just always keeping that in mind, that you gotta start somewhere. Like, you're never gonna get where you need to be if you never start. And so that's kind of like where my whole YouTube journey and just finally taking the plunge with it kind of came from. You just have to start, guys. You have whatever it is that you've been thinking of that you want to do, you just have to start. Just gotta do it. Just do it. And if you hear YouTubers, successful YouTubers talk about it, people will often ask them like, how do I start? Literally everybody will say, just start, just go, just start. So I think there's a lot of merit to that. I think there's a lot of truth to that. And I think they are right. I'm sitting on the floor, by the way, so it's really comfy. All right, we're gonna add lip gloss now. I have the Essence Shine Shine Shine. This stuff is so good. I love this stuff. Gives it such a beautiful glass-like shine to the lips. It's not sticky. Also smells good. It smells like blue raspberry. And I'll take like either a makeup wipe or I have a paper towel here, and I'll wipe off, because it's a clear gloss, so I want to try to keep it clear. So most of the time, not every time, but I try to wipe off the excess lips, like the lipstick that got on it. So now most of it's off, but it's not going to turn my clear gloss pink, which is what we don't want. I'm going to be using for my setting spray today, I have the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist in, it's a Sweet Peach. Smells so good, and anytime, is it focusing? And anytime I use this, my husband, the smell is pretty strong, but it's a peachy smell, so it doesn't really necessarily bother me. Every time I wear this, my husband's like, oh my gosh, what is that smell? It smells so good. I'm like, it's a setting spray that you bought me for Christmas. So here we go. I'm gonna, just like that, spray across the face. Oh, it smells so good. If you like a peach smell, this is it. We're gonna dry her off just a little bit, go back in with that sponge, press it in. Helps, I feel like this helps just melt everything into the skin, melt that makeup down, and really help to make it last. Also pick up any like extra powder on the face that you don't really necessarily want there. I think that's it. I think that's the look, guys. Here we are. So the getting ready with me look, first YouTube video. Let's zoom in on the eyes. I feel like the lighting doesn't do this look any justice, but there's the eyes. So it's kind of, I'm gonna say it's a natural glam. A little bit more glam than what I was going for, but that's okay. But if you stuck it out with me this long, guys, thank you. Thank you for watching. And I guess, you know what everybody says on YouTube, go like this video, comment down below what you would like to see on this channel. If there's something with makeup that you want to know more about, if there's a tip or trick that you want to know, let me know down below in the comments. Also, if you're watching, in the comments, go ahead and tell me where you're from, maybe how you came across my video, and that would be cool to know that. So go ahead, like the video, comment down below, all of that, and then subscribe to my channel too, guys. And thank you so much for watching. I'll think of an outro one of these days. I think it's just something that's going to happen organically. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and sign off and say bye. See you guys next time.